What's your name and your story?
Okay, so I'm Emily Cahoon, and I'm 17. I was born deaf, and I got a cochlear implant when I was 18 months old. I went to speech therapy for 5 years, and I don't know what to say.
We were introduced to deaf culture really when we found out our new little baby Emily was deaf. They have a little screening that you go through in the hospital, and so very quickly you find out that she had a problem with her hearing. And it turns out Emily is profoundly deaf, and so that meant a lot of changes for us and our family. Emily had learned about 200 words by the time she was 6 months old. So she was signing, and we went from thinking, the world had ended to we met tons of deaf people, and we realized she was going to lead a totally normal life.
Do you consider being deaf a disability?
Yeah, to some extent.
How come?
You can't hear anything.
I would consider it, yes, being a disability.
I do,
How come?
because it's a disadvantage.
Yes.
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 Yes,
How come?
because they're not able to do something, so it'd be a disability.
I don't consider being deaf a disability. I think I don't like being called disabled. I can do anything a hearing person does. The only thing I can't do is hear, but I have a cochlear implant, so I can hear. So it's harder to hear, but I can do anything a hearing person can do. So I definitely don't consider myself disabled at all.
Oh boy, that's a tough one. Is Emily disabled, or do we view deafness as disabled? I don't think so. I think if you're deaf and you only speak sign language, life is harder, right? Because you have to interact every day with hearing people.
Plop, cup, plop.
Once she got her implant, she went through a lot of speech therapy. And there's really two camps. You've got the sign language camp and the oral camp. And all the speech therapists and everyone were telling us to not sign. They told us to just speak to her so she could learn how to use her implant. And we just came to the decision that we were going to communicate with our daughter. So we sort of bucked the trend, and we signed and spoke to her, and then lots of speech therapy. Being involved in deaf culture and having a deaf daughter has been a blessing, because it opened our eyes to so many good friends in the deaf culture, a new language, and just being more sensitive to deaf people. Have you ever felt bad about being deaf, and then what are your thoughts about being able to hear, right, having the implant?
I don't know. I think just whenever I can't understand, and I've asked what so many times that it's just awkward, I'm like, why can't I just understand them? And I kind of get frustrated and kind of mad about that. I kind of wish that a lot of people knew that I was deaf, so then I wouldn't have those awkward moments when the person's like, hey, why can't she understand me? So I think I wish that other people knew more and were kind of aware, because some people forget that I'm deaf, but I don't forget that. So I kind of wish that people would just try to remember that I am deaf, and a lot of people do, but I just often get people tell me that, oh, I forgot that you're deaf, and I'm just like, I wish that you wouldn't forget. I don't know.